The cultural heritage of the Azerbaijani people is the product of rich historical development, spanning millennia. This heritage is not only a legacy of the past, but also one of the fundamental pillars of national identity. However, the political changes of the 20th century, especially during the Soviet period, posed serious challenges to the preservation of national and cultural values. It was under such complex historical circumstances that Heydar Aliyev emerged as a leader who brought a turning point to Azerbaijan's cultural life, elevating the preservation and development of national heritage to the level of systematic state policy.
Biz fəxr edirik ki, bizim xalqımız belə qədim, zəngin mədəniyyətə malikdir.
Heydar Aliyev and Azerbaijani culture, a strategy for preserving and developing national identity. Heydar Aliyev was born in 1923 in Nakhchivan. He worked in state security agencies at various stages of his career before rising to political leadership. In 1969, he was elected first secretary of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of Azerbaijan, laying the foundation for significant changes in the republic's socio-political life. In 1982, he was promoted to the leadership of the USSR, but in 1987, he was removed from office. After Azerbaijan regained its independence, he returned to power in 1993 at the request of the people and led the country until 2003. During this period, alongside state building, he paid special attention to the preservation and development of national culture. His rise to power in 1969 marked the beginning of a new stage in the social life of the Azerbaijan SSR. Despite the strict framework of Soviet ideology, special attention was given to the development of national culture, and purposeful steps were taken in this direction. Heydar Aliyev linked the development of culture primarily to human resources policy. At his initiative, hundreds of Azerbaijani youths were sent to leading universities across the former USSR, an important strategic step aimed at the future. As a result, a new generation of intellectuals emerged in Azerbaijan in the 1970s and 1980s. Representatives of this generation later played a key role in the development of both culture and education. Another important direction of this policy was the issue of language. The inclusion of Azerbaijani as the state language in the 1978 Constitution carried more than just formal legal significance. This step was strategically important for strengthening national self-awareness, as language is not only a means of communication, but also the primary expression of a people's historical memory and cultural identity.
Azərbaycan hökuməti adından sizi böyük bayram münasibətilə ürəkdən təbrik edirəm və institutun bütün kollektivinə yeni böyük müvəffəqiyyətlər arzuluyuram.
Cultural policy during this period produced tangible results. The restoration of historical monuments and the expansion of museums and theaters are clear examples of these efforts. Cultural institutions, such as the Azerbaijan State Academic Opera and Ballet Theater, entered a new phase of development. New performances were staged, and interest in classical musical heritage significantly increased. In this context, the grand celebrations of the anniversaries of prominent composers such as Uzayir Hajibeli, Gada Garayev, and Fikret Amirov were of particular importance. These events were not merely commemorative, they were part of a broader policy to preserve and promote the National School of Music. At the same time, Heydar Aliyev's role in the development of Azerbaijani cinema was undeniable. Films such as On Distant Shores, The Investigation, In a Southern City, Nasimi, and Babek were produced and, in many cases, passed Soviet censorship thanks to his personal initiative and support. These films were not only works of art, but also expressions of national history and identity through cinema. It is especially noteworthy that in 1982, the remains of Hussein Javid were brought back from Siberia to Azerbaijan and reburied in Nakhchivan. This act was not only a tribute to a literary figure, but also a restoration of historical justice.
Azərbaycan xalqının böyük şairi Hüseyn Cavidin xatirəsinə həsr edilmiş bu məqbərənin açılışı münasibətilə ürəkdən təbrik edirəm.
Overall, during his leadership, fields such as museum and library work, painting, sculpture, and architecture developed rapidly. Monuments erected in Baku and architectural works combining modern and classical styles became an integral part of the nation's cultural heritage. After Azerbaijan restored its independence in 1991, the country faced a deep political and economic crisis, which also affected the cultural sphere. The weakening of state institutions slowed cultural development. In this context, Heydar Aliyev's return to power in 1993 marked not only political stabilization, but also the beginning of a cultural revival. At this stage, the essence of cultural policy evolved. While earlier, the main goal had been to preserve existing heritage. Under new conditions, the focus shifted to developing this heritage and promoting it internationally. Azerbaijani culture began to integrate into the global cultural space. In this regard, the re-evaluation of the legacy of historical figures played a key role. The international celebration of the anniversaries of classical figures, such as Nizami Ganjavi, Fuzuli, and Molla Pana Vagif, became important steps in presenting national culture to the world. Additionally, efforts to restore the tomb and mausoleum of Imaduddin Nasimi in Aleppo demonstrated a commitment to preserving national culture beyond geographic borders. The celebration of the 1300th anniversary of the epic Kitab-i-Dede Gurgud in 2000 became one of the peak moments of this policy. The epic was presented not only as a literary monument, but also as a shared cultural heritage of the Turkic world. At the same time, cooperation with international organizations expanded. In particular, strengthened ties with UNESCO led to the global recognition of several Azerbaijani cultural heritage sites. The inclusion of Isharishahar, the old city of Baku, along with the Shirvanshah's Palace complex in the UNESCO World Heritage List, was a significant outcome of this policy. Over time, cultural policy expanded into a broader dimension. The preservation of national identity began to be understood within the context of unity among Azerbaijanis worldwide. In this regard, the first Congress of World Azerbaijanis, held in 2001, was of great significance. Its main idea was to promote the ideology of Azerbaijanism as a unifying factor for Azerbaijanis worldwide.
Kim harda yaşayırsa, öz vətəni haqqında, öz xalqı haqqında, öz milləti haqqında, öz ana dili haqqında düşünsün. Biz hamımız bir yerdə Azərbaycan xalqının gələcək nəsilləri qarşısında böyük məsuliyyət daşıyırıq. Mən vətəndən kənarda yaşayan hər bir Azərbaycanlının aqibəti ilə həmişə maraqlanmışam. Arzu ederdim ki, külli ərzin hər bir güşəsində yaşayan Azərbaycanlı öz xalqına, öz vətəninə münasibətini bildirsin.
As a continuation of this policy, diaspora building became a key direction of state strategy. Today, the activities of the State Committee on Work with Diaspora reflect this ongoing strategy. Important progress has been made in coordinating diaspora organizations, promoting national culture abroad, and uniting Azerbaijani communities.
Xaricdə yaşayan Azərbaycanlılar böyük qüvvədir və onların fəaliyyəti ölkəmiz üçün çox önəmlidir. Və onların fəallığı və Azərbaycan xəriyyətlərinin çatdırılması, Azərbaycan maraqlarının müdafiə edilməsi əlbəttə ki, bu önəmli bir amildir.
Currently, the consistent policies implemented by President İlham Aliyev, as well as the work of the Heydar Aliyev Foundation, led by Mehriban Aliyeva, are of particular importance. The Foundation's efforts in developing the art of muam, promoting national culture internationally, and preserving historical heritage demonstrate the successful continuation of this policy in its modern stage. Cultural institutions such as the International Muam Center in Baku and the Azerbaijan National Carpet Museum, built in a striking modern architectural style, are concrete results of this policy. These are not only architectural landmarks, but also living spaces for the presentation of national culture. One of the most significant outcomes of this policy is the work of the Heydar Aliyev Center, which today is regarded as one of Azerbaijan's main cultural centers. Built in a modern architectural style, this center is not only an outstanding architectural landmark, but also an important institution for promoting Azerbaijan's historical and cultural heritage. The international events, exhibitions, and cultural projects held here contribute greatly to introducing Azerbaijani culture to the world. In conclusion, the cultural policy initiated by Heydar Aliyev has evolved into a comprehensive strategic system aimed at preserving national identity, building a global diaspora, and promoting Azerbaijan on the world stage. This proves, once again, that culture is not only a legacy of the past, but also a fundamental tool for shaping the future.
Biz fəxr edirik ki, bizim xalqımız öz böyük şəxsiyyətləri vasitəsilə Azərbaycanın milli, mənəvi dəyərlərini daimi qoruyub saxlamış, onları zənginləşdirmiş və bugün ümumi bəşəri dəyərlərin bir hissəsinə çevirmişdir.